Most long-term relationships, obvious sign of a fracture is unfollowing that person on social media. It's never good. Klay unfollowed the Warriors, deleted several Warrior-centric posts.
That's more noteworthy to me than the unfollow.
The boats and his captain's hat still up though. The Golden State faithful sat in Draymond worry for him.
I'm not mad. Don't put in the newspaper I'm mad. I'm not mad. In fact, it's very funny. Listen, I think Klay's gone. I think it's pretty obvious Klay's gone. It is a sad. You know what? Maybe Draymond's not sad. I'm sad.
Yeah, sure.
And so Draymond, I understand Draymond feels like it's part of his brand, I think, to never show vulnerability, weakness, anything like that. I get that. As an athlete, it makes a lot of sense. As a media member, I don't think it's the best strategy, but what do I know? I'm
tough
old
as
media.
a friend.
And so
hey, I'm thinking about leaving the Warriors. That's hilarious. I hurt my feelings.
So I'm very curious how Steph deals with all of it, and I'm very curious the ripple effects of this for the Warriors after next season, because the band's not getting back together,
right. And
I don't think they're going to all of a sudden be great again. And I also think, if I may just quickly brew one thing about Klay, if I can just show the triple blind reveal.
Wow.
Ooh,
triple blind reveal. Spoiler alert.
They all look like LeBron.
One of these guys. Oh, you mean the silhouettes?
Yeah, the silhouettes are clearly LeBron.
I don't think they are, actually, but it doesn't matter. Maybe they are. Who knows?
Yeah.
But just
tell me in my ear.
So one of these people is Klay Thompson this year. So reveal it, please. These are all Klay Thompson. And it's the year they won the title, when they won the playoff run when they won the title, and then this year. The point I'm making is this. He's not that different than he was when they won their last title. He slipped a bit offensively and more than a bit defensively. The big difference for the Warriors, in my opinion, between when they won the title and now is twofold. One is Steph, oddly, post-All-Star break, wasn't Steph. Mm-hmm. And Draymond is totally unreliable and in and out of the lineup. And it lost
there's another reason.
What?
Wiggins?
Wiggins? Sure. And Wiggins, all of it. Right. And so removing Klay doesn't fix things. It's a bookkeeping decision. But it's not like he was a negative for them on the court. So I think it's bad for the Warriors, and I think it puts Steph's long-term future in a bit of doubt.
Let me first address Draymond. And I understand where he's coming from. Because when I saw Klay unfollow the Warriors, I laughed too. It is hysterical or hilarious because you're a Warrior. Most guys that unfollow, Kyler Murray unfollowing the Cardinals after his third year, Antonio Brown unfollowing the Raiders, who he never even played a game for, right? You weren't really there, so you can effectively be like, I'm done with y'all. This, we're finished. Mm-hmm. It's like you're erasing the memory of your time there. Klay Thompson can't do that. It is funny. It's like, dude, you're a Warrior. Your whole even if he leaves, and I agree with you, I think he's gone. But to unfollow them just felt like juvenile, because it's like, dude, you're a Warrior. We're not going to erase, and you shouldn't want us to, your career with the Warriors. So in that regard, I understand where Draymond coming from. It is funny. It's like, what? You're not a Warrior anymore? Please. But I do think it's time to move on. Just because when you mention those numbers in 2022, he was under contract. That's the difference. It's like now I have to pay him big money to keep him. Yep. And so I just think financially they need to move on. We saw the Celtics waited too long with Bird and McHale and Parrish. It's time to move on and go a different direction.
Just before we move on, Brew, if this show ever broke up, would you actually go the other way and follow me? Or would you finally give me a follow?
I probably would follow you since I'm not seeing you every day.
Yeah, exactly. Keep up with it. That's right.
Head over to the WNBA, second matchup of the season between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Angel Reese with a flagrant foul on Caitlin Clark.
Calling the National Guard.
She ends up making both free throws, and the game continued just like pretty much every other basketball game you've ever seen in your entire life after a flagrant foul. All right, Brew, your reaction.
I have no problem with them calling it flagrant because of the way it looked She did smack her upside the head, not purposely, but and in this era of concussions, we're worried about that. I get it.
It's a flagrant in the NBA, too.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And I see these commentators, the WNBA is physical, y'all. It's the same thing in the NBA. They would have called it flagrant. Now, do I actually think it was a flagrant one? I don't. By the definition of, we got the definition right here. If contact committed against a player with or without the ball is interpreted to be unnecessary. Now, I think of that. What's unnecessary is something that doesn't like come in the course of playing basketball, like a basketball play or a non-basketball play, like the last time they played them when Carter bumped her. This, I really believe, and I watched it from several angles. I know she wound up, but I think Reese was going for the block. Like her eyes were totally on the ball, not on Clark. If she was trying to hit Clark in the head, I think she would have been looking at her, and she's looking at the ball and obviously hits her. So I don't deem that I'm trying to make a basketball play. I think it was accidental contact.
I think there could be accidental flagrants.
And so, okay, that's.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm going for a block, but I hit you in the head. And so,
okay, that's the case. But I don't think she did it purposely.
I agree.
Or was trying to hurt her.
No, so I agree. And listen, we're gonna try Wilds to go somewhere seemingly no one's gone before.
It's impossible.
We're gonna talk about the basketball aspect of this, while the worst actors in the world try to turn this into the opening salvo in some race war that we're gonna be having over the next 18 months. Here's the deal. Angel doesn't like Caitlin. There's a real rivalry, and it's great for the sport. And Angel is, blaming the refs, blaming the media a little bit because Caitlin has been getting the better of her lately. And if we show Hubs, if we can flip around the order, Caitlin versus Angel this year, fact of the matter is this. These two young ladies who are the two most famous players in the league right now, not the two best, are also the two best rookies.
Yep.
They are both holding up their end of the basketball bargain of this. The other basketball piece of it that I think is noteworthy is, for the first time all year, if the playoffs started today, the Fever are in it. Because it's a 12-team league, 8 make it. So you got it. So what happened? What changed? Well, Aaliyah Boston, who was the #1 pick for the Fever a year ago, after being brutal for the first 5 games, got going. And since then, they're 5-5, and she's averaging 14 and 9. What else happened? They stopped playing every night, it seemed. And since that moment, they've won 3 of 4. And Caitlin, after shooting 36 and 29 splits, is now shooting 47 and 42. And so,
which is huge for the WNBA.
Huge.
Like their shooting percentage is lower.
Exactly
lower
right. And so here's the other aspect, again, that people seem to not want to accept. Both of these things are true. The WNBA is a physical league, and Caitlin Clark is not, the amount of fouling or hazing or whatever she's dealing with is not outside of the bounds of all of WNBA history. There's just more eyes on it. Another thing that's true is this. She's been excellent. And people that are trying to act like she is a media creation, here is the full list of players in the top 25 this year in points, rebounds, and assists. It is 6 established stars in Caitlin Clark. Here is the full list of players averaging 15, 5, and 5. It's 2 players, both #1 overall picks, by the way, in the history of the league. And now, with the Fever not playing any more back-to-backs, they get the Mystics, the worst team in the league, as their next game, being rested, with Caitlin not being on the Olympic team. They're going to be in the postseason. We'll see if Angel's team is. I think that would be great. But this is a real rivalry that is great for the sport because it also has what people have begged the NBA to have, some dislike. Everyone's too buddy-buddy in the NBA. I don't think Angel likes Caitlin for the attention, whether it's Caitlin's fault or not, and I don't think Caitlin likes getting hit in the head. So I think it's good for the league what's happening here, and I don't think it has to be deeper than that.
And I think if you're right and they make the playoffs and Caitlin, as we both kind of said, second half of the season, she's going to be great. If that's the case, that's going to make her omission on the Olympic team look even worse.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.